Have you ever wondered what a building inspector looks for? Well, great, because I've got William Frost here with Evergreen Property Inspections to talk about that today. William, thanks for joining me.
Oh, Tom, thank you. It's good to meet you and spend some more time with you here. So I
Yeah,
appreciate this.
absolutely. Absolutely. So, if first you could give me a brief overview of Evergreen Property Inspectors, what services or products does your company provide and who are your clients?
Yeah, perfect. Okay, so property inspections. Someone buys a home or buys a commercial building or they're getting ready to sell it. We take a look at the improvements on land to tell you the condition of those, whether they're in good shape, bad shape, or need further review because we're suspect that something's wrong. So really we're doing residential inspections, commercial inspections, and then we do a lot of work for property managers who just want to make sure that their tenants are taking good care of the property.
So I know you have a great blog post and you teach CE. You have a course coming up. I think it's coming up about the most common defects, top 10 common defects whenever you're
Yeah.
looking at a home.
Yeah.
Let's dig into that a little bit.
Yeah. We did that course last week. So we do a couple
Oh, so it was
courses
last week.
per
Yeah.
month,
Okay.
right? So the top 10 most common defects that that we find during a home inspection. How do you fill 3 hours with that? Like it seems like it would be tough to do. We ran out of time.
You
Like,
did.
yes, it really brings up some great conversation. So these are courses that I'm teaching to real estate agents, and they want to learn these different things. And there's so much to talk about. So it is fun. So we do have a blog post that's the 10 most common defects that we find during a home inspection. We have another blog post that is the most expensive deficiencies we find during a home inspection.
Okay.
So because one thing's really expensive, like the top 10 expensive things, and then something's like really common. So it's a small thing, like maybe you're missing a cover plate on an electrical outlet. It's a 15-cent repair, but it's one of the common things that we find that's missing.
Right.
So we can come up with those two different lists. Um, yeah, it's fun stuff to go through. So yeah, we can run through some of these.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. If you don't mind going through some of the ones that you've found
yeah.
that they're most common.
Yeah, perfect. So the most common first one is just detectors that aren't working, smoke detectors or carbon monoxide detectors that aren't working. They don't have a battery inside them, or they're just missing. They're not in place. So those stupid alarms go off when you don't want them to go off. And a lot of people, instead of replacing that alarm or replacing the battery, they just disconnect it.
Yeah.
And that's a safety thing. So it's really rare chance that you're going to have a big fire in your house that's going to burn it down. But when it does happen, that's not a small thing. So just have those detectors in place.
That happened to me recently. I had one beeping in the middle of the night, 2 a.m. You know, they don't ever beep during the day. They beep in the middle of the night, right? So
Yeah.
I went around and tried to figure out which one was beeping, and takes forever to figure out which one's beeping. And I ended up just replacing all of them. They only cost about $10 a piece to replace all of them. So
Yeah.
just replaced all of them, and now they don't beep anymore.
That's frustrating. And they have these ones that are tied together now. So one starts beeping because a spider crawled into it and shorted something. And then all of them throughout your house
Yes,
start beating. Yeah. How do you tell which was the one that initiated it? I hate that.
exactly,
And then there's
exactly.
some that are more prone to going off than others. And so sometimes you just have to switch to another manufacturer or replace them all like you did.
Okay.
Yeah, I've had that frustration happen.
Okay. Now, are carbon monoxide detectors, are those a must in your home?
They are. You're supposed to have one on every floor and then in the room wherever you have combustible appliances. So if you have a um, gas stove, you should have one a little bit outside your kitchen. Probably not right inside your kitchen because it could go off because of steam and stuff like that.
Sure.
But then if you have a furnace that's a gas furnace or gas water heater, you should have one in your basement or wherever that utility is room that has those appliances.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. What's next?
Oh man, so this is the simplest one. Every house that we inspect has this. It's landscaping. So making sure that when water comes off your roof, goes down your downspouts, it's draining away from the home.
Okay.
So water is the biggest destroyer of homes. You want to
Sure.
get it away from your foundation. Uh, we have clay soil in our area. That clay soil gets wet, it expands, it pushes itself away from the home. And then when it dries, it contracts and it kind of shrinks near the home. It doesn't push itself back towards the home
Okay.
as well. So every 5 years, you might have to add soil around your home. just to make sure that that ground slopes away. So when rain hits the siding, runs down to the ground, you want to make sure it runs away from the foundation. It
Awesome.
just is 8 pounds per gallon for water, and when you have a few thousand gallons along one side of your house, it can cause cracks or find its way into the foundation.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's a simple one. These are all simple things to fix so
Sure.
far. Downspouts that discharge water too close to the home. This happens a lot. We have very beautiful peaks and valleys in our roofs these days. Instead of just one two-sided roof,
Right.
we want to make it look pretty. So the architects design these valleys and peaks, but then it's sending water a lot of times towards the front of your house, so right near your front porch. And then it
Sure.
starts washing water away from around the front porch, and it starts hurting the wall cladding on the front of the house, or starts soaking in near that foundation and cracking the foundation, making sure that those downspouts discharge the water about 8 to 10 feet away from the home.
Okay.
Get that water away.
Awesome.
Yeah, most people don't like doing that because then when you're mowing your lawn, you have this stupid downspout that's in the way. So you can bury them, put a little pop-up valve. There's ways to make it so it carries the water away, and that downspouts not when you're mowing area all the time.
Right. Right. Okay.
Roof flashings and other penetrations on the roof. So you might have 30-year shingles on your roof, these architectural shingles,
Yes.
but those aren't the things that usually leak. It's the flashings. So you have plumbing vents that are coming out of your roof. You have heating flues from your water heater and from your furnace. So different things that are coming through your roof. Or if you have all these dormers or different parts of your roof, where different angles of the roof meet, you're going to have flashing to try and capture the water and pull it away. That's what leaks.
Okay.
So just maintaining your roof. Have a roofer come out there every 5 years, take a look at your roof, and just fix anything that's starting to wear out. You have a bunch of like little rubber boots over some of the plumbing events. Those rubber boots, they just don't last as long as shingles. They might have to be replaced every 10 years.
Gotcha.
So little maintenance on your roof goes a long way.
Awesome.
Exposed wood trim on the exterior of the home. Man, so many people, especially in these older homes, have wooden sill plates or wooden frames on the outside of the home, and they just never look at it. Or they look at the part that you can see, which is the front face of it, but they never look on the top of it because it's too high for their eyes to see up there. And as we're going around doing our inspection and we touch those sills, our fingers sometimes go right through the wood. It just
Really.
is totally rotted away because it just wasn't kept painted. So if you have wood trim on your house, get that painted every 3 years. So you're not going to have to repaint everything, but you're going to have to touch up something or caulk in some certain areas every few years.
Okay.
Simple stuff, cheap stuff, goes a long way towards taking care of your home.
Yeah.
Something that we see a lot are GFCI outlets. So these are electrical outlets inside your home. They're inside your kitchen. They have like a little push button that you can do to reset or to test them. So I think everyone's seen those in bathrooms and
Yes.
kitchens.
Mm-hmm.
They do go bad. So test those every once in a while, especially the ones that you don't use on a regular basis. And that way, when you do use them, when Thanksgiving comes around, you have a lot of people around the house, you're cooking a lot of stuff, you'll know that they're working. So it might be every 10 years, every 20 years that those are going to go bad, but just know that they do go bad. Test them every once in a while and replace them.
I feel like I see that one a lot on inspections.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
is a common one.
Yeah.
Either it's an older home that never had that protection in the first place, or it's something that's just worn out and is no longer working.
Gotcha.
But it's a $25 item.
Right.
A lot of people can replace them yourself. If you get an electrician out there, maybe it's $200 just because you're paying for them to come and do the work. But it's a relatively simple fix. Nothing that's going to change, nothing that's going to destroy, your budget if you get it fixed,
Right.
replaced. Oh, dehumidifier in the basement. So we talked about water on the outside of the home.
Yeah.
This really is, I think, the second largest, most common item for our area is we have a lot of humidity in St. Louis.
Yes.
That humidity comes in through the ground, through your foundation. Even though you have a poured concrete foundation, it really is porous. It does let water through. That moisture gets inside your house, and once your humidity gets above 50 to 60%, you're going to get a lot of mold growth, and you're going to get insects that are going to really enjoy that environment.
Really.
If you keep your humidity in the home below 50%, you're going to reduce the amount of insects and reduce the chance of mold and mildew growth growing.
Okay.
So there's a thing called a dehumidifier. It looks like a tiny mini fridge.
Yeah.
Everyone should put it inside their basement and have it run from March till September of all throughout the year.
Okay.
Some homes even need it inside the winter because if the home's closed up too much, when you bathe or shower or take or cook, you're creating moisture inside the home, and you want to get rid of that as well.
Okay.
So everyone needs to have a dehumidifier. So that's a big thing that we're calling out all the time.
Okay.
Humidity is too high. Loose handrails. Seems like a very simple thing. And you may never use your handrail when you're going up your front steps or going down into your basement. But if you have guests over and then grandma comes over and she wants to use that handrail and it's been a little bit loose while you were using it, now she really needs it to help pull herself up the stairs and it comes loose, she can get hurt.
Yes.
So just check your handrails. Make sure that they're screwed in tight and secure and going to support someone's weight.
Okay.
Uneven walking surfaces. So we see this in a lot of older homes. The water gets inside the ground, it freezes, it makes the ground swell up a little bit, and it makes the sidewalks move. So driveways, sidewalks, any exterior horizontal surface can be moved by this frost heave is what they call it. And it can be a trip hazard. Some insurance companies, when you get new insurance on a home, they might send someone out to take a look at the property.
Yes.
And if they see these sidewalk pads uneven by more than a quarter inch, sometimes they'll say you have to get that fixed or they won't insure the home.
Really?
Seems like a small thing, but it's a trip hazard.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
When you have guests coming over to the house, you have the mailman coming over.
Yep.
You want to have good, easy walking surfaces for them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Think, what is this, number 10?
This is number 10. You're right. Plumbing drain issues.
Okay.
So it could be stuff underneath the sink. When you purchase a home, the seller's going to move out. They're going to get all that stuff out from underneath that cabinet. When you move in, you're going to put your stuff underneath that cabinet.
Yep.
Those plumbing pipes that are underneath there are pretty delicate and they can be moved. And if they moved a little bit, they can start leaking. And then sometimes you don't even notice that leak for 3 years because all of your junk is underneath that sink.
Sure.
So watch for plumbing drain issues to make sure that nothing's leaking inside your sink and destroying your cupboard. And man, your main lateral line, taking all the sewage out from your house.
Yes.
Keeping that clean and taken care of. Don't pour grease down your sink.
Okay.
Don't put eggshells inside your garbage disposal. Things that could, clog that line or stick inside that line is going to end up eventually causing a backup. So some homes, especially if they have trees in the yard and they're bigger homes and they have the older clay pipes, they might have to be cleaned out. They call it cabling out the line. They might have to clean that out every 2 to 3 years as these tree roots are trying to grow into them.
Okay.
For newer homes, you might not have to do anything to them for 30 years, as long as you're not pouring grease down there and eggshells and other things like that.
So eggshells and grease are a no-no.
Yes. Yeah. Those are bad
All right.
things.
Well, William, I appreciate you coming by today. Thanks for joining us in the studio. If you could just give your contact information real quick on how people can get a hold of you.
Good. Yeah. Reach out to us at evergreenpropertyinspectors.com. We have our phone numbers on there. There's a contact form. If you guys have questions, reach out. Happy to help. Thank you, Tom.
You're welcome. And Tom Lubiewski with First Integrity Mortgage Services. You can reach me at 314-780-4800. Thanks. Have a great day, everybody.